All right, when you were 5 years old, and for some of us that was a long time ago, do you remember being able to solve algebra problems?
Yeah, probably not, but researchers have found that many kids of that age can now solve those problems that could be considered to be algebra level.
They can do a lot of things we couldn't do at
Right.
5. Jeff Maher, you got the details.
Do you guys think algebra is difficult?
I hated algebra.
I was
hated it
okay
too.
with it.
I hated it.
Hated it.
I guess it's a bit of a stretch to think that 5-year-olds can do it, but scientists say that is the case, including this 5-year-old whose father was incapable of helping him with his homework because the kid was too smart.
He asked me so many questions about chemistry that I called up a graduate student answered, and I asked him if I'd be willing to sit down with my boy.
You know, his kid has an IQ of 147, way above the average for his age of 100. He had difficulty in school because it was so easy for him, so that 5-year-old skipped kindergarten to 2nd grade. So maybe kids are getting smarter overall. Psychologist Melissa Keeb of Johns Hopkins University told ABC News that researchers on her team found that preschoolers these days can do basic algebra. It comes from gut instinct that we share with a lot of other animals, she says. She pointed out that humans, like many animals, have an inborn ability to determine the number of objects in our immediate environment. One of the experiments kids were put through used stuffed animals as symbols, and the kids were asked to figure out roughly how many tokens the animals contributed to another pile of tokens. They didn't know the exact number, they just had to figure out which animal added a few tokens and which animal added a lot of tokens. And with algebra, that's the same as figuring out x. So they were charged with finding an unknown value, and really the kids nailed it. The kids tested in these experiments, by the way, were ages 4 to 6, and what they also found, guys, is that the 4-year-olds were just as good as algebra as the 6-year-olds, which shows that what's called numbers sense develops at a very early stage and stays with us for a very long time. But in my case, it never developed.
Never took.
It never started.
Hey, well, as bad as I felt not being able to help my 10th and 11th graders with their math,
Right.
it's worse when they're in kindergarten or 2nd grade.
Right, and you have this packet of homework.
Yeah.
I bet you Melissa Crowley can relate. You're like, what is this?
I can't imagine how that dad feels with his kid having an IQ of 147.
We want smart kids, though.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right,
we do.
Jeff, thank you.
Sure.